There's a different approach to improvising solos that really took my playing to the next level. It's like when I was at this park last summer with my 2-year-old son Levi, and we noticed this map that happened to show the location of a waterfall, which happens to be his favorite thing. So we set out on a mission to find the waterfall. Just as a map can show the location of a waterfall in the woods, we can use a scale that works with a progression like this. And since we were playing over F, C, and G, all of these notes right here are within the key. However, this approach may be limiting and may not necessarily lead us to our destination. The park can be confusing with so many trails, but fortunately, there were maps at every intersection showing us exactly where we were and where we needed to go. It's like looking at the notes of each chord as they're played instead of just the overall scale. If we play F right here, we have all these notes, and we can add on this and these over here as well. So you have, and then for the closest C, you've got these notes, and then you can add these on, and this one, so you'd have, and then shifting down to G, you can play this one here, the full bar chord shape. You'd have these notes, plus this one here, and over here. So you've got, this approach connects to the chords and adds another dimension to our playing. However, processing all of these notes in real time can be overwhelming and may actually make it more difficult to play in the moment. With the help of the map and the guideposts, we easily found the waterfall. When mapping out our notes on the guitar, start by using chord shapes you already know, but to simplify things and become even more melodic, use what I call guide tones. Pick one chord tone, then move to the next nearest tone from the next chord, either up or down from that note. So if I start with F, this one right here, I could go up 2 frets to G, which would be the 5th of C, or I could go down 1 fret to E, which is the major 3rd of C, and then I can continue down to D, which is the 5th of G. Or you can see it in this shape more commonly right here. So you'd have like that or like that. Now you can use more than one chord tone per chord, and you don't have to always go to the nearest one. However, using the nearest chord tone is a good starting point to make this approach a lot easier. It's similar to having a post at each trail intersection of a map. It's easier to choose a destination, and you're less likely to get lost on the way there. Let's listen to an example of not only using guide tones, but using them as a basis for an improvised solo. If you're familiar with this tune, you may have recognized that I was focusing on the melody, and then I threw in that F, E, D part at the end. I mean, most melodies have a lot of guide tones built into them, so by creating your own paths, your playing becomes more melodic and therefore more memorable. Personally, I hike a lot, and once I'm familiar with a new place, I don't always need a map. Over time, I've developed an intuition that allows me to navigate without one, even in new locations. Similarly, when I first started to map out chord progressions with guide tones, it wasn't easy. However, with practice, I can now do it on the fly without even thinking. I just kind of hear the guide tones in my head. I believe that you can eventually do it too, even if it feels very far off. Just start out by mapping a simple path with guide tones as your first step. If you're looking for an easier way to map out chord tones, the Cage system can be a big help. So check out my Cage cheat sheet. I'll put a link in the description down below. If you want to zoom out and look at a larger version of the map of a solo, check out this video, because you don't want to get lost in the trees. You also need to take a look at the forest.